Many of you live like a fish thrashing in turbulent waters, trying in vain to swim upstream. Your mind is filled with plans, ambitions, and goals that you seek to achieve through effort and tension. But observe nature. The water flows to the sea without effort. The bamboo bends to the wind without breaking. The flower blossoms in its own time, without hurry. Life, when lived in harmony with the Tao, the great current of the universe, is a state of fluidity, not combat. Your suffering is born of resistance, not of reality itself. The mind, with its need for control, is the main source of this illusion of struggle. It whispers to you that you must dominate the world, that you must force results, that you must manipulate circumstances to achieve happiness. But this is the voice of the ego, which separates you from the unity of the Tao. The wisdom of the sage lies in knowing that they cannot control the river, but can learn to float with it. Your task is not to fight against life, but to learn to trust in its intrinsic wisdom and its natural flow. The concept of Wu Wei, effortless action, is the secret to stopping swimming against the current. Wu Wei does not mean inactivity or passivity. It is an action that arises from spontaneity and connection with the Tao. It is like the craftsman who, in perfect harmony with the wood, carves it without forcing, allowing the natural form to emerge. When you act with Wu Wei, your actions are powerful and effective, for you are aligned with the flow of the universe. The results come naturally without the tension of struggle. Constant worry about the future is another shackle that binds you to the struggle. You are distressed by what might happen, and this anxiety robs you of the peace of the present moment. But the future does not exist. It is merely a seed of the now. By worrying about tomorrow, you stray from the only thing that is real. This instant. Quiet your mind. Let go of attachment to the outcome. The Tao takes care of the flow if you simply take care of the present. Attachment to material possessions, fame, and power is another form of resistance. You believe that these things will bring you security and happiness, and you cling to them with desperation. But all things are impermanent. They come and go, like the seasons. The sage understands the ephemeral nature of all things and therefore does not cling. By letting go of attachment, you free yourselves from the fear of loss, and the struggle for control over something that was never yours dissolves. Struggle is not your natural condition. Observe children who play with joy, without worrying about the result, living fully in the present. This is your deepest nature. The path to peace is not to fight the world, but to reconnect with the simplicity and spontaneity that dwell within you. The sage becomes like a child, without artifice, without pretense, living with a lightness that the world tries to corrupt. The criticism and judgment you direct at others and at yourselves are manifestations of the struggle. You believe that by judging, you are separating right from wrong, good from evil. But in truth, you are creating a division in the unity of the Tao. The sage does not judge, for they understand that each being is on their own path. They accept the world as it is, and they accept themselves with the same compassion. Peace is only possible when the struggle of judgment ceases. If these words touch your soul and give you a glimpse of a lighter path, I ask you to like this video with an open heart. In doing so, this message will reach others who feel lost and tired of the struggle. Subscribe to the channel to receive more of the wisdom that guides you to the flow of the Tao and comment on one thing that made you see life as a flow and not a struggle. Your participation is the seed of a garden of peace. Now, let us continue. Understand that excessive effort is a sign that you are acting against your nature. You are trying to force a door that should open on its own. True power does not reside in force, but in gentleness. Observe the water, soft and flexible. It molds the hardest rock over time. When you act with gentleness, you do not find resistance. Your action becomes more effective and your path lighter. Impatience is the voice of the struggle. You want things to happen on your timeline, and you are distressed when the universe has a different rhythm. But the seed does not become a tree in a day. The caterpillar does not become a butterfly in an instant. Patience is the virtue of one who trusts in the Tao. It is the acceptance that each thing has its own time to flourish. Cultivate patience and anxiety will dissolve. Fear is the emotion that most binds you to the struggle. Fear of loss, of pain, of rejection. But fear is an illusion, a shadow that your mind projects on the wall of reality. It has no substance. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the understanding that you cannot fight against what is inevitable. When you accept what is, fear becomes irrelevant, for your inner peace no longer depends on the outcome. Humility is the antidote to the arrogance of the struggle. You believe you are the center of the universe, that everything must revolve around your desires. But true wisdom lies in recognizing that you are a tiny part of a vast and perfect whole. Your will is just a small tributary that must join the great river of the Tao. Humility frees you from the pretense of control and allows you to flow with life. Forgiveness is the act of letting go of the struggle. When you hold on to resentment, you are fighting against the past, a battle that is already lost. Forgiveness is not a favor you do for another. It is a gift you give to yourself. It is the liberation from a pain that no longer needs to be carried. By forgiving, you align yourselves again with the flow of life, which always moves forward without clinging to what is past. True freedom is not the absence of problems, but the absence of struggle. Problems will come, for they are the nature of life. But when you do not face them with resistance, they become simply events, experiences that teach and strengthen you. Life, then, becomes a series of lessons, not a succession of battles. The path of the sage is not a path of confrontation, but of acceptance. They do not try to change the world in their image, but change themselves to be in harmony with the world. External peace is a reflection of internal peace. Happiness is not the result of having the world as you want it, but of wanting the world as it is. Your body, with its innate wisdom, teaches you about the flow. Breath enters and exits effortlessly. The heart beats at its own rhythm. Digestion happens without you needing to force it. Let your mind learn from the body. Let it flow without clinging to thoughts, without resisting emotions, without fighting against your own nature. Simplicity is the virtue of those who have stopped struggling. Complexity, the search for more and more, is an attempt to fill a void that can only be filled by your connection with the Tao. When you simplify your life, when you let go of what is superfluous, you find the richness that resides in what is essential. Life becomes easier when your burden is lighter. Do not compare yourselves to others. Comparison is a form of struggle, a battle for superiority or for acceptance. Each person has their own path, their own rhythm, their own nature. When you compare yourselves, you are denying the unique beauty of your being and fighting against your own essence. Peace is found in the acceptance of who you are, in the celebration of your own journey. True courage is not the ability to fight, but the ability to surrender. It takes more strength to let go of control, to trust the flow, than to try to force your will. Surrender is the supreme act of faith in the Tao, the belief that you are guided by a wisdom that is greater than your own. And in this surrender, you find true strength. Your purpose is not to struggle. Your purpose is to flourish. Just as the tree blossoms in harmony with the seasons, your soul blossoms in harmony with the flow of life. Your only responsibility is to create the internal environment for this flourishing to occur. An open heart, a quiet mind, a soul that trusts. May your life be like a boat that sets its sails to the wind instead of a rower who fights against the current. Trust that the wind, the current, and your intuition will carry you exactly where you need to go. Struggle is tiring. Surrender is revitalizing. Choose the path of lightness, of wu wei, of flow. Life is not a struggle. It is a dance. And your happiness lies in learning to dance with the Tao instead of trying to force it. Release the tension, breathe deeply, and allow life to carry you on its perfect journey. Your destiny is not chaos, but peace. And peace is found in the silent center of your being, where the river simply flows.